What da da danyo what da dang and go danyo oh what da dang. This is the voice of the Patriot. And here we speak truth to power. Here we don't criticize, but if we must, it will only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Now here we are not neutral. We have taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. Now, my brother, my sister, this is our daily editorial. It is called the Voice of the Patriot. And here we speak truth to power. Today we have a number of issues to look at, and I want to go headlong into the caboodle. Now, the very first story is taken from Ghana Web. It says, and I read, Ken Ofori Atta is not afraid of prosecution. Frank Davis hits back at OSP. Lawyer of former Minister of Finance Ken Ofori Atta, Frank Davis, has criticized the office of the special prosecutor for what he describes as unnecessary media theatrics following its announcement that his client would soon face prosecution for alleged corruption-related offenses. Now, speaking in an interview cited by adumonline.com on October 31, 2025, Davis dismissed the OSP's recent press conference as needless, accusing Special Prosecutor Kise Jabing of turning serious legal matters into public drama. Now, coming to narrate and talk long and needless English is a conviction itself. He, the special prosecutor, says he's going to charge him, Ofori Atta. He should go ahead and stop this gimmicking. Come on. This is the first time the OSP has come out to say something about Ken Ofori Atta. He quizzed. Davis further described the OSP's handling of the matter as amateurish and childish, recalling previous public statements made about his client. Once upon a time, what did he tell us? That Ofori Atta should either come to his country or he should force his entry. I mean, come on. He should either come into this country or he would force his entry. I mean, come on. Frank Davis further emphasized that Ofori Atta is not afraid of prosecution and that he is ready to meet the OSP in court. Let me tell you, Ken Ofori Atta kuntunkununku is not afraid of prosecution. Let the car roll for the OSP. The accused person would have his vehicle. So let's stop these theatrics, he stated. Davis also urged the special prosecutor to focus on rebuilding the credibility of his office rather than engaging in media performances. A lawyer's place is the courtroom, not behind the microphone, he indicated. Now the comments come after the OSP disclosed that Ken Ofori Atta and several former government officials will be charged by the end of November 2025 for alleging financial irregularities uncovered at the Ministry of Finance. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited are also part of this. My brother, my sister, the lawyer of Ken Ofori Atta has said, once the same lawyer allegedly promised that Ken Ofori Atta will be handed over back in this country to the office of the OSP for interrogation. they failed. They came to tell us he was sick, treating cancer. And even when it came out that he was okay and at least could come home and talk, it was still very difficult to have Ofori Atta in this country. Now he has not been charged yet. The OSP wanted to sit down and speak, interrogate and investigate this man, like the office does with all other people who have been accused. Get to the bottom of whatever it is, and if it is worth going to court, they go to court. It is not a done deal when somebody is interrogated by the office of the special prosecutor that they must go to court. No. After the interrogation, if it means that more evidence is needed, this person could walk until the evidence is picked up. But OSP did not get the opportunity to speak with Ofori Atta. When he was in this country, he was untouchable. The cousin of the president of the Republic of Ghana. The untouchables. They sat down and watched him leave this country. And now that he's basking in the glory of his American dream, they want to bring him back home. My brother, my sister. And now all you need to be able to sit and work in America is $1 million. And Trump will give you what he calls the red visa. It's supposed to legitimize your stay in America, your work in America. All you need is to invest in the American economy to the tune of $1 million American dollars. It used to be 5 million under Trump. Then all of a sudden he's changed it to 1 million. And only God knows how many people have taken advantage of this just to live the American dream. Is Ofori Atta doing that? We have all the details, but we shall keep this for now. My brother, my sister, this is what is happening now. He has not been charged yet because the OSP could not sit with him and conclude. Number two, the OSP's office accordingly discovered more rot under the SML, which is the parent company under which Ofori Atta is supposedly going to be hanged. Can I make myself clearer? The biggest charge, the biggest weapon that the office of the special prosecutor has to be able to nail down Ofori Atta is the SML deal. As we were told yesterday, so much rot in the SML deal has hurt Ghana so much. People like Comrade Kwesi Pratt Jr. have made it clear from the beginning that the SML scandal is the mother of all scandals. Now, if Ofori Atta has been fingered in this, and it's now that we are hearing that he will be charged beginning tomorrow, November, probably till the end of November, there would be an official charge sheet slapped on this man. Now, the excuse of the OSP makes sense to me. The OSP says, you know what? Just as we were about to charge this guy, we discovered that there was much more rot in the SML thing. Remember, we did not have the advantage, the luxury of having to sit with Ofori Atta, former finance minister, and interrogate him, upon which we'll be able to build a better charge sheet. So we have to go headlong, like blind people, into the evidence. It makes sense to me. My brother, my sister, now there is evidence, much more than we had. and we have expanded the charge sheet in our minds. And November, we shall charge him officially. Of course, the office of the special prosecutor is under pressure. Some people think that the office is pussyfooting. Some people think that the office is a useless office. And this lawyer here, Frank Davis, thinks that the integrity of the office has dwindled into oblivion. And for that matter, the OSP must start working to fix its house. My brother, my sister, what are we going to see? If Ofori Atta hasn't done anything wrong and is truly unafraid of any prosecution, and he truly thinks that he has any integrity, if I were him, I will not even wait to be called or forced to be extradited into the country. The man that I am that I am. Even if it demands riding on horseback back to Ghana, I will do it. My brother, my sister, you want me to face you one-on-one, so you interrogate me or prosecute me, depending on what level you have reached. You can't intimidate me. I will come. If I know that I am right, if I know that I have nothing to hide, if I know that I am clean like the whistle, if I know that I am right at equity, let me show my clean hands. Doesn't it make sense, my brother? It is what it is. So, lawyer Frank Davis, yes, you have made some points. The office of the special prosecutor must try to fix its roof right now. What is this roof we are talking about? A lot of people are talking against the office of the special prosecutor. Many people think that the office is pussyfooting. Many people say that it is very, very extravagant. So much money is pumped in there. And the special prosecutor says, you know what? Yes, because fighting corruption is not cheap. My brother, my sister, this is what the office of the special prosecutor is saying. Fighting corruption is not cheap. If you are ready to fight corruption, make sure that you are ready to walk on the journey of good cash to pay. It is sad that to be able to catch the thieves, the corrupt ones, we have to spend an arm and a leg. That is why in our country, it is hard for the poor man to get justice. When you go to the prisons all over Ghana, 99.999% of all the inmates are poor. And it's not for a reason that is far-fetched. They couldn't find justice. They are poor. They can't pay an arm and a leg for justice. Not all of them are criminals. Not all of them are wrong. If anybody tells you that everybody in prison is culpable, is wrong, is a criminal, tell them that there's a rude awakening awaiting them now. There are a lot of innocent people in jail. Their only crime is that they couldn't pay for justice. So expensive. The rich man pays. He buys off the hands of justice so that these hands are shortened. They are no longer proverbially long, the long arms of the law to catch them. Not many people understand what I'm saying. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, Ofori Atta, if you have nothing to hide, get the hell out of America. Come here and stop the pussyfooting. Stop the pussyfooting. Stop the pussyfooting. Be responsible. You've been asked to come home and answer questions. You are hiding somewhere in the name of cancer treatment. Come home and answer. And you are there through your lawyers making so much noise. I think I am fed up with this noise. Now the next thing I quickly want to look at is this one here from Ghana, where it says NOBISCO Bursar turns herself in after food theft allegations. And I read. Now the Bursar of the Northern School of Business Senior High School, NOBISCO, Fidelia Kudariwo, has surrendered to the police after large quantities of foodstuffs meant for students were allegedly discovered in her home. According to a myjoyonline.com report, on October 31, 2025, 9 bags of maize were intercepted in the school's minibus, reportedly being transported out of the stores when a team of volunteers apprehended 2 drivers, Alasan Suleimana and Osman Asma, on Thursday, October 30, 2025. The volunteers said they had been monitoring the school stores following tips from students that a syndicate had been moving food items out at night. When they spotted the minibus on Thursday, they reportedly intervened and uncovered the maize. Now, one of the drivers allegedly told the volunteers that the Bursar had instructed him to deliver the food to their house. Acting on this information, the team visited the residence where they reportedly found additional quantities of foodstuffs. However, Kudariwo, who was said to have fled before their arrival, but later turned herself into the police. The headmaster of NOBISCO, Alasan Dokurugu, said he was informed of the incident after returning from an engagement outside campus. He expressed disappointment, describing the alleged theft as a setback to the school's efforts to build a positive reputation. Dokurugu assured that the school administration will cooperate fully with investigations to uncover the truth behind the incident. My brother, these students are fed as if they were prisoners. The kind of food they give to them, even pigs in Japan will not eat that. The kind of food they give to our children in the secondary schools, even worms in China will not eat that. They will loathe that and reject that with all the contempt it deserves. Can I go further? Yet all they are interested in is long hair and short hair. What a shame. Look how much theft is going on in our secondary schools. Look how much we are told of textbook shortages. Look how much we are told about dirty shenanigans, so primary, so foundational, happening in our secondary schools. Yet, minister is only interested in short hair and long hair. What a shame. I was in America the other day, and I went there to check out some of the schools. My brother, the food that they are fed with, they are fed like kings. In Japan, in Korea, in China, students are fed 4 times, sometimes 5 times. And when you look at the food they eat, it means that the country understands that these are the future leaders. They must nourish their brains, not their hair. They must nourish their brains. Yet here, You feed the children with chaff. A lot of the students do not eat from the dining hall because it is an arena for pigs. In China, in Korea, bring Chinese pigs into the secondary schools in Ghana and give them the food to eat. They will reject the food. Even worms will refuse to eat the food that Ghanaian school children are given. Why? We are hearing of NAFCO bosses in the past stealing. And all they did was to push the low grade to the little children whilst they built mansions. Is this a country that has a future? Tell me. Does it have a future? And the only debate we are hearing now is not about how textbooks must arrive on time, how school uniforms should arrive on time, how the dormitories should be made habitable to prevent our children from vagaries of the weather. You go to some of these schools, my brother, a mosquito is as huge as a butterfly. When a mosquito is coming, you will think that it is a drone with arms that are like tentacles. You don't care about the mosquitoes at Achimota school. You don't care about the bed bugs. You are busily debunking them. Are you crazy? You don't care what they eat. Bosses are stealing food. They don't care what the children eat. They don't care how many bed bugs are in their dormitories. Blood-sucking bed bugs. They suck the blood of these children. They can't even study in class. Weevils infest their beans and rice. The students are no more eating beans. They are eating weevils. They are eating insects in rice. At least school authorities will tell you that that is protein. Weevils and insects. Yet, you come and the biggest debate about education now is long hair and short hair. Are you crazy, my brother? NOBISCO, head teacher by her name, the Bursar, she said, Nordna. Kudariwo is an ordinary name. Whether she is one or not, you know the amount of poverty in the area. You know how much students strive in order to eat something that is at least halfway balanced. Then you keep stealing, allegedly, loading them into your house, like we are seeing in the orphanages. People donate food, courtesy Anas Armiyao Anas. We got to realize that they were selling the food and pocketing the money in a lot of these orphanages. You don't fear God anymore. Munsro Yamibium. Munsro Yamibium. Hey! My brother, my sister, yet these are the most religious people on earth. Let Sunday come. They are the first in the church, dressed in white, speaking tongues. My brother, my sister, that only they and their thieving partners understand. Hallelujah. They carry the children's food to the church and donate for them to be prayed for, stolen food. NAFCO bosses allegedly steal money and run to Mecca and pray to Allah. Stolen money. What is wrong with you, my brethren? Are we okay? Do you fear God? Or you don't care? Well, I am glad that she has been apprehended. But in our country, Soon we will forget about this woman. She would stand for MP and win and continue to steal. We will make news about her stealing. Forget it. Then she would move on to become a minister of state and continue to steal. We make noise about it and forget no action is taken after us. What kind of a people are we? Am I on the wrong planet? Sometimes I sit my family down and I ask them, tell me the truth. Maybe I'm paranoid. Am I on the wrong planet? If I am, I would gladly relocate to Mercury. If I am, I will gladly relocate to Venus. That is, if there's still a planet called Venus. In my days, there was a planet called Venus. Today, I'm hearing that the 9 planets that I knew about when I was in school, they have become 8. One of them was actually not a planet. It was some caricature. Jesus have mercy. Soon, they will come back to us and tell us that, oh, there was never anything called paramecium. Because when I was in school and studied biology, they taught me about some kind of thing called paramecium. They will tell us again that amoeba was only a figment of the imagination of those so-called scientists in the days. As for Spirogyra, the name has changed to Gyrospiro. Please have mercy on the nation. Respect the future leaders. Nourish their brains so that the nation can be better. I leave it here.
Yabo!